Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. If you'd please go ahead and type the number 1 in the comment section. Let me know you can. I'd appreciate it. And welcome to Market Mornings. As we get started here, let's go ahead and make sure that we get through our disclaimer that basically says everything we go through today is for educational purposes only, and nothing is meant to be advice or recommendations. All right. And as you are joining us here this morning, if you like what you see, folks, make sure you subscribe, follow us, not only here, but along on all of the various social platforms that we're on. We have different content that goes out across the board. We actually started an account with Twitch yesterday. It was the first time we broadcast on Twitch. Sean just told me we've actually got some followers on there already at this point, so that was pretty cool. But make sure you're following all the different social platforms that we're on. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and first take a look at the futures this morning. Woo! Okay, so let's see. When we look at the futures so far today, you look at this vertical line, that's the 5 p.m. close and the 6 p.m. open last night. And we're just kind of riding along on my automobile. And then we get to the U.S. pre-market stuff coming out, and we had a shoulder, a head, a shoulder, slightly higher head, not big, but a much lower right shoulder, which led to this nice decline that took place from about 46.65 to 46.25, let's call it, 40-point drop there, right from where we were. We're down almost 29 points right now on the S&P 500 on the ES. So it looks like we may end the week in a downward fashion there. YM, why not YM? So YM is down 230 points right now. Very similar pattern on the YM. We look at the NQ down 131. Again, more of a consistent flow of how the exchanges are up and down in equality, right? It's not that the NASDAQ's up more than or down more than the Dow is. But we're down 125 points right now. And same pattern, exact same pattern. We had slightly lower highs going in there with bottoms holding. We saw it coming, right? If you saw the pattern, you knew it was there. It was a descending triangle. The RUT, RTY, we're down about 20 points on the RUT. Nice hit for the RUT, actually. Then we look at Bitcoin. They're down a little bit from where they were yesterday. They are at 42,000, we'll call it 200. At this point, down 500 points for the morning. They're down 480, but you're down 500. What's the difference, 480 or 500? Ethereum, let's see, they're down 45.5 points. Very similar pattern right across the board. Then we look at gold, right? Gold had a great run in the overnight session. It dropped back off, and in the last 15, 20 minutes, it's had a bit of a spike to it. And then we look, lastly, is crude oil. Crude had a run all the way up to 83 and jingle this morning, which, that puts us at the high, at least for the last week and a half or so, puts us at our highs on crude oil. So what a nice run, and then a good back off. So I've got to check some technicals on it, but I have a position right now that I have a leap on. I've got to determine if I'm going to A, write a diagonal spread against it, or B, just take the profit on crude itself. I'm going to hold on to it, or what? More than likely, I'm just going to write the diagonal and start renting it out. All right, so let's go take a look at yesterday's trades and see how we actually did on those. I do it on back of the page, and my back of my page is very, very busy today. We did an advanced training last evening, which is called our Inner Circle. And in the Inner Circle, and we had Ryan Litchfield. For those of you that know him, he's an absolutely amazing trader author. I mean, he wrote the last book that was written on candlesticks with Gregory Morris, Candlestick Trading Explained. Ryan's got the only new information out there on candles, and since candles were put out there, right? And he's a phenomenal trader. And we were in there last night, and we got talking about today's class, what we do with market mornings, what those students thought of it, and so forth. And I was talking about, I had already done all my prep work for this morning, saying, where are we at with our trades? And I said, we crushed it today, meaning yesterday. We absolutely crushed it. And someone said, yeah, this is every day. You're hitting home runs with some of these, and we are every single day. So let's go take a look first at big airplane, which is Boeing. Come on, baby, open up. All right, there we go. BA. So, and the only bad thing is I got to flip-flop between both sides of the page. So Boeing, we said bull put spread, price above 223, puts below 223. We got above 223 yesterday. So we were able to pick up 75 cents on the 220, 217.5 bull put spread. And right now they were at 32 cents last night. I don't know what they are this morning, but they were at 32 cents. So great setup on Boeing. By the way, what trades did you do yesterday, folks? Right, drop them in the chat box there. Let me know. Let me know if there are trades you took from us. I'm very excited to hear about those. But just in general, how'd you do? Hey, good morning. Say hey. How are you, sir? And then let's go look next at Delta Airlines. DAL is our next one. So Delta, we sold to open the $40 put. We got 30 cents of credit on it, and at the end of the day, it was worth 6 cents. So if you closed out of that trade, you did well. You rocked it on Delta, and it expires today, right? If we look, what did I say? The 40, right? If we look at the $40 put on Delta, yeah, nothing's changed. It's at 6 cents right now. 13 Delta, so we've got 13% chance of this going against us. So Alan said adorable Adobe, which he apparently did well with. And PayPal, party the sequel. There you go. PayPal's doing well, right? There's been some nice money made on PayPal lately. Good job, Alan. Everybody else, give Alan some kudos, and let's go ahead and drop in any other ones that you guys did yesterday. Moderna, mRNA, we looked at yesterday. Let me move today's sheet out of the way. It's easier. There was a bear call spread above the 230s. Right? So look where we opened up. We opened right up about 220 or so. That bear call spread, the 230, 227.5, we were able to get 40 cents. And right now it is trading at a whopping 6 cents. So same scenario, just like Boeing, right? Great move on Boeing, great move on Delta Airlines, all three of them so far, right? Taiwan Semi, TSM was another one. Bull put spread below 136. Right? And what did we do? We did the 136, 135. We got 20 cents credit on that. And let's look at that for a sec. All right, let's flip this over to vertical. We don't need all of these. Let's go to 20. We looked at a bull put spread of 36.35. 36.35. So we got in this at 20 cents. Right now it's trading at 17. We are in a bull put spread. So this one is going to go against us for the day. The other three from yesterday, we rocked them. So there we go. Let's see. Morning, Karen. Paula said the SPY, 19% profit. Great job. Great job, Paula. I love it. I love it. Robert said Delta Airlines sold a put. Moderna and Microsoft bear call spread for the day. There you go. Excellent. Excellent. Well, Moderna, you did well. Right? I'm not sure how Microsoft panned out, but great job, Robert. All right. And then I have two others, but we didn't take the trades. They were actually ones that MTCH was one of them. And here's what I wanted to go over. I wrote down, it was bullish news. It was an upgrade by Goldman Sachs to that whatever list they put them on. And I said, we're in an overall bearish bias. We're in a true bear on our moving averages. I don't trust that this is enough for me to take a bullish trade unless we get above the 131. So we gap up, and anybody that said, I ain't listening to this guy, man, I'm jumping in. Goldman said it, I'm in. We opened up and failed immediately right off of that. right? It was critical to wait for that 131. The other one was empanada, ENPH. I love empanadas, but I don't know why I call it that, but ENPH, same thing. What did they have? They were an upgrade, right? And I wrote, wait, you could possibly use pivot points, right? The 8 moving average was at 157 in Jingle yesterday when we opened up. And our opening price yesterday was 156.64 with a high of 157.36. So we pushed right up into that moving average and failed. Guys, when you've got this true bear and you want to fight it, you go for it, dude. You go for it. I'm going to back away, position 1 in the chair. I'm just going to take it easy. I'm going to watch it and let it do its thing, but I am not going to get in harm's way, right? And look up and realize there's a bus headed straight for me. So Sean said, my weekend homework is to dig into Amelia's TradeWatch Alerts day trading rules. Still trying to get my head out of swing trading. I get you, Sean. Day trading is where it's at right now. Hey, Robert, great job. Robert said on both Moderna and Microsoft, both did well. So awesome. Glad to hear that. All right, so that was yesterday's trades. Let's put that one off on the side and let's jump in to today's candidates. All right, I'm going to open up the pre-market here, and we've got a lot of them, folks, a lot. Blackrock, BLK is the very first one. So Blackrock had earnings come out, and again, they do have weekly options on them. They are down $12.58. Apparently, the earnings weren't good, right? I don't need to know more than that. They weren't good. So if we look at Blackrock, and I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that orange bar there. All right, so if we look at Blackrock, yeah, it's been bad. It's already been bad, right? So I'm good with that. I'm good with the bear call spread on Blackrock. And we're probably looking at something above, where are we now? 855, above the 867, which is where it closed yesterday. All right, so there's Blackrock. A little bit expensive on a stock, but when you're running credit spreads, makes life real easy. Disney, DIS, all right, they're down about $3 this morning. They got a downgrade. Don't remember who it was, but it doesn't matter. If I don't have them written down, I don't care. So Disney was in a neutral bias. They're down $3 right now, so at 152. So the nice thing is you've got a fib line right there at 156. So we'll be looking at a bear call spread above 156 or a long put. So if we're looking at put options on this, they should have plenty of open interest. Let's see. Go to single. We're looking at that 65 to 85 delta. We've got that 155 option has a 60. My bad. I'm looking at the wrong delta, but the wrong column for delta. So, wow. All right. So there's 78 delta has 15.20 cents. We may not get away with this week's. I don't know. We may have to go much deeper in the money. Everything's showing a 100 delta. That's because the Black-Scholes model does not really know how to properly account for option pricing when we get this close to expiration. That's always been a downfall of it. If we look at next week's options and we see we got a 52 delta, it may just be the pre-market, and then we jump right to 100, right? So we got to see which one it is. I don't know where we're going to be at as far as what option, but we could be looking at a long put as well on Disney. JP Morgan, earnings on JPM, and it was not good. They're down $7, almost $8 today. So now, once again, you've got a bullish pattern with bad news. That's a lot different than a bearish pattern with good news, right? So we've had a very strong market move. We did violate, right now we're at 160. We violated this fib line. We violated the 8, where we violated this line right here as well. So we'll be looking at a bear call spread above, heck, if I can get above 165 is the best, or above 162. right? So that would be our best, the 165. But if I can get above the 162, we'll be okay. Right now we're at 160 and a half. 65 is better just because we've got a longer way to go to get there. LVS, Las Vegas Sands. So the Macau casinos, the Macau government came out, and there's 4 casinos on our list today, although one of them is monthly options only. But there's 4 companies on our list today. Las Vegas Sands is one of them. The Macau government came out and said, we're only going to allow 6 licenses for casinos. So what they've just done is restrict the number of casinos they're allowing there. So that's great news for the ones that already are there, and these 4 are there. So we're up $3 in jingle on Las Vegas Sands. So we're looking at a bullish position here. So if we're sitting at $41, see where we are, folks? We're right at 41.40. We've got a fib line at 41.23. So we'll be looking at a bull put spread below 39. We're just too close at that level to try to use that as our trigger point, right? MGM was another one. We'll just pull it up here first before we look at the intraday. So we've got great, opportunity to the upside. So we look at MGM. By the way, not only a bull put spread, but I do like these guys as recovery, especially as we're starting to come out of this on the crap that's happening and going on right here. So with both Las Vegas Sands and MGM, you could also look at a long call option. And I would do a monthly option. I would not do it for the week. Let's see. So MGM, what are we up right now? $1.65. So again, nice move. So we're looking at bull put spread. And we're sitting at 46 right now. So where's our moving average? So we're going to be looking at a bull put spread below 44, which is our 8 moving average. Just taking my notes, folks. All right, Wells Fargo. Just get it since we're there. Wells Fargo. All right. So they came out with earnings. Apparently perceived well early on. They had a nice move up and then dropped off on the earnings announcements. So we're down. It's only 20 cents right now. So not that big a deal, right? Not that big a deal whatsoever. But it was earnings. I'm going to watch this one. I'm going to wait. It's really not moved. Right? So Wynn, W-Y-N-N. That's another Macau one. They're up $6.62. 91 is where they're at right now. Ooh, look at that. So it's moved through 2 fib lines right now. Great. So we're at 91. We're going to be looking at a bull put spread. We're looking at a bull put spread below 86. Possibly a long call. Right? And if we look, let's see what we've got for Wynn. So look, bull put spread, we said below 86. So what do we have here? 86.85. As of yesterday, we were able to get 58 cents, but we're going to move $6.50 in the opposite direction. So it's just too big of a move to tell. We might get 20 cents for it. If I can get 20 cents for today, I'll be very excited. When we look at 86.85 for next week, they were at 64 cents. Once again, if I can get 20 or 30 cents, I'll be excited for it, right? For a $1 spread. All right, now, normally I do these in alphabetical order, but Citigroup announced earnings later in the morning this morning, and I caught it on CNBC. So I added Citigroup to my list. Their earnings weren't good. All right, so who else? We had JP Morgan. We were looking at a bear call spread. Blackrock is not a broker, but they are a hedge, right? We're looking at bear call spread there. So finance is not doing well today. JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, and now Citigroup, all of them looking like they're in trouble, right? So bear call spread on Citigroup. Let's go see what we would do there. See, same scenario, right? Where are we? 65. So we're sitting right at that moving average. So I'm going to wait on Citigroup right now. Just don't trust myself to take a trade in this with how it's moving or not moving yet, right? We had a strong bull going here, so I want to be a little cautious. All right, so I've got a couple of candidates that we're going to go through fairly quickly now, folks. These are the ones that only have monthly options available to them. So what I'm going to ask you to do is drop in the symbols that you'd like me to take a look at. Let me analyze those for you. I don't know anywhere else on YouTube where someone's analyzing live candidates for you of trade setup. So go ahead and do that now. All right. So let's go over and start off with BJ's. BJ is the ticker symbol. They came out with, they got a downgrade from JP Morgan. They're down about $3, almost $4. So I'm going to put them down for a bear call spread or a long put. I'm not going to analyze the stocks. We're not going to go into them because I don't plan on trading it if I don't have to, right? But the news is there, guys. It's just the options that are a problem to me. MLCO, this was one of the Macau companies. So you could be looking at a bull put spread. Sam I am. Am I allowed to say that anymore? The government banned that, right? Dr. Seuss, Sam I am. Let's see, $46 to the downside for them. They cut their annual outlook, which they didn't say anything about supply chain, at least not that I saw in my very quick analysis of it. They didn't say supply chain, which I would understand. Someone else did. The next one actually listed as supply chain. But alcohol has been a big boost. It's been a big sell. It's up there. But a study came out today, I guess a survey that was done, and they found that people are spending less money now than they were on things that they need and buy all the time. They've spent less money on those, and they're driving less, and all of this because of cost, right? And here the government is telling us, life is good, man. We are so awesome right now. Everything is going through the roof. Life is phenomenal. Everybody's got so much money. We're doing so much better than we were with the last administration. And you may or may not be, but that's not lasting. Now with a 7% inflation rate, it's not. Keep your money in the bank and go calculate what you lose at the 0.5% they pay you, if they pay you 0.5%, and the 6.5% of your money that is not worth what it was worth last year. And tell me you're doing better. You're not. You're not. And if you have 6-7% more than you did last year, you're breaking even. So, all right, Sam, we'll be looking at a bear call spread. Anything this high, I don't normally get into directional options, especially monthly. If we look here, there's only 7 days left here. If we look at we'll go to single, we'll go with a directional trade. Well, I'm not going to get anything with decent delta today. The deltas aren't going to be accurate. So here I've got to go to the 460s. There's $10 increments. I got to pay $18.65. Okay, I'd rather trade Netflix today or Nvidia today or one of those with today's options or next week's options, not pay anywhere near that, and have a better moving position than Sam. Right? SHW is the last one, which I think is Sherwin-Williams. They're down 9.73. They cut their forecast, but they blamed it on supply chain, right? Which sometimes is an excuse as to the why. But home improvements, right? That's where they are. They're paint. Home improvement company. I've used them for a very long time. We'd also be looking at a bear call spread. All right. So, hey, nice, guys. Nice. I love it. Lighten up the chat with your candidates. I love it. All right, so let's go take a look-see at your candidates. We're going to start off with Robert, who's put in there NVIDIA. Nope, not what I wanted to do. NVIDIA. All right, so we need to see where they're at in pre-market. So let's go ahead and get here. All right, so they're down about $4. We've got them down as bearish on our tracking sheet. So let's see what's going on right now. And they're down $4. So that puts them at 262. So we've got a little bit of wiggle room down there, Robert, on NVIDIA. I'd love to see them move back up to that, towards that 275 level first before we fail. Because all you've got is down to 259.33. And then if you violate that, down to 244. So moving averages are in a bearish bias. They're not true bear, Robert, but they're bearish enough for a directional trade. For me, I'm all about day trades right now. So I'd be looking to day trade it for sure. All right, hope that helps. Jones asking for Apple. Ever since we removed it from power option plays, I don't look at it anywhere near as much any longer. So they have earnings coming up in a couple of weeks. Two weeks. So let's see where Apple is pre-market. All right, so Apple is down $1.50, so they're sitting at 170.5 right now. We've got down here, so 170 is support. So guys, see what I'm talking about, how powerful Fibonacci levels are? They're setting this up pre-market. They move it to a fib line, and here's the traders. All right, let's see what everybody else does with it now. Let's see which way they want to try to push it, and then they take it from there. We're in a neutral bias. It's day trades. I'd be looking at a ping pong trade, Joan, at best between that 170 and 173. If you break the 170 level, look at 167 as the next target. So I hope that helps, Joan. Steven's asking for SF. All right, let's go look at it in the pre-market. Do they post? Yeah, they don't post pre-market. So they're flat. I don't really know what they're doing in pre-market. So, but they are a bullish bias. If we get the bounce off of the moving average, off of that 74.11, which we're not far from it, I'd be looking at about $77 as our first stopping point. And then that recent high about 78.5. All right, so I hope that helps. Joe is asking for First Solar. Oh, we got two of them. Synthetic is asking for First Solar also. Guys, do they have news coming out of something that that two of you put it in? Or is it just coincidental that that Joel and Synthetic 1101 both have that in there? So bearish bias to it, true bear for sure. They're down $1.25 in pre-market. They have monthly options on them, which is great on First Solar. Wait. Oh, where did I do F? No, I got First Solar here. Oh, yeah. You know what, Stephen? I missed them up. Joel and Synthetic 1101 both have First Solar. I passed Ford up. Sorry about that. I'll get that for you. Okay. So let's see. So right now, they're sitting to the downside there at 81.5. I'd be looking at a bear call spread, possibly a long put on it, but where are we? So we're at 81.5. You've got room down to 79, which is okay, and then 74 down below there. But it definitely is a bearish setup for me today, right? Let's see. Steven asked for Ford. I'm glad you told me that, Steven, because I would have passed that up on Ford. So Ford's pattern has been bullish. I mean, I watched one of the car makers yesterday. We were talking about, I'm in this business 45 years, and I'm glad I lived this long because I never saw something like this with how prices are and car companies are killing it and car salesmen are making a mint. My next door neighbor is a car guy. He worked for Ford for about 40 years. Sales. He was a sales manager. He was a big shot for them in their dealerships. And he talks about his heyday making $500,000 plus a year as a sales guy, as a car salesman, right? And he said, yeah, some of these guys now are killing it because you're walking in and there's no negotiations. You want the car? There's the paper. Go ahead and fill it out. I'm going to go take care of the next customer. I mean, it's that way. They said this morning, a new car comes in from the dealer. It's gone the day it came in. Someone's buying it that day, right? So we'll look at Ford in pre-market. They're down a little bit in pre-market, not much, 42 cents, but they're down right now at 24.5. All right, so 24 is my moving average, 23.5 is my fib line. So it's in a good place, Stephen. If we can get a bounce off of the moving average, we can get that bounce off the moving average there, then I would be looking at a bullish potential. But I'd need to break that 23.5 for any kind of bearish trade. But I only have a room down to 22.65. And there is a confluence with the 21 there. So I'd be a little cautious on trying to go against this pattern right now. Yeah, there you go, Patty. Soon. All right, Jones asking for the SPY. All right, where are we, SPY? This morning we're definitely down. So we're down 43 cents right now. It's not crazy. We're sitting at 24. We're sitting at 460.5. And the 55 is 464. Oh, no. So we're down $4. That was still my old option chain catching up. So we're at 460.5. We're down $4. So we're there now, Joan. I'd be cautious. You don't have a lot of room to the downside. If we break the 461 retest and fail, we're looking at 456 as our downside target. Let's see. Jones also asking for the Qs. Okay. Same scenario. We're down. Bearish bias on the Qs. Nice bearish pattern today. We're down about $3.50 to 374 even. So 374 puts us right near the fib line again. Break the 375.66, retest and fail. We're looking at 370 as our downside target. 381 would be the upside if you tried to play a bounce if the market tries to recover. Right? Excellent. Guys, we did our first training yesterday on 30 Days to Trading Success. It was amazing. I got phenomenal feedback. I talked with my inner circle last night, who many of them were in that training yesterday. I got great feedback for it. If you're interested in truly learning what it takes to become a phenomenal trader, right? The January 13th, of course, is gone. Don't register for that one. But you got 3 more of them coming up, including a Saturday. If you can't make it during the week, if you're busy at 8 o'clock at night on those days, the 22nd is a Saturday, right? Go through this little video. Right, there's Daniel there, right? And this is one of the trainings we just did in New York not long ago. But go ahead and get yourself registered, guys. It was phenomenal. Yep, Monday banks are closed. We're still doing it Monday. You're right. The market's closed, Jones. So we're closed on Monday. Oh, yeah, we will not be doing this on Monday because of the markets being closed. Patty typed in, it was awesome. Thank you for that, Patty. I appreciate it. But good reminder, Joan, that we're not going to be having training on Monday. But I am still doing this on Monday night. And I did it purposely, thinking people were off. They're going to have some time during the day and maybe not as busy. And they'll have the opportunity to get there. So, all right. With that, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your week, right? Which is one more day. Make it a profitable one. Stay focused on the quest to becoming a great trader. Keep crushing it. And remember, click on the link that Sean dropped in the chat box there to register for this training. You have a great rest of your day because you're only one trade away. Take care, folks. See you next week. Bye for now.